We're going to discuss a really significant subject today. Among the most significant subjects ever, I think. We're going to discuss signs that you are on the correct path today, or how to recognize when you're walking the correct path with God. What then are the warning signals? How could you be certain? That's why I'm here, then. However, I'd want to urge you to subscribe to our YouTube channel before I begin this video, to receive notifications whenever we upload a new video. Click the notification bell. May God reward you. I am aware that you hear this on every other channel, but you would be well to subscribe to receive a consistent stream of all the tasty, divine information we have to offer. You can be the first to know when new content is uploaded if you simply click the subscribe button and the notification. Okay, now let's get back to the video. There's one thing he expresses himself. The way he loves up on God. The way he's so direct about what he wants. The way he doesn't hesitate to serenade God and reassure God of his love for him. Now, I am not surprised that God loves him so much, and he said the sweet things that he said about him. Hey, you can't blame him. God has feelings too. In Psalms 101, David told God, "Now, let's see what it is." He said, "Lord, I will sing about your faithful love for me. My song of praise will have your justice as its theme." I'm trying my best to walk in the way of integrity, especially, but I need your help. I'm wondering, Lord, when will you appear? I refuse to gaze on that which is vulgar. I despise the works of evil people and anything that moves my heart away from you. I will not let evil hold me in its grip. Every perverse and crooked way I have put away from my heart. For I will have nothing to do with the deeds of darkness. I will silence those who secretly want to slander my friends, and I will not tolerate the proud and arrogant. My innermost circle will only be those who I know are pure and godly. They'll be the only ones I allow to minister to me, because there's no room in my home for hypocrites, for I can't stand chronic lies, those who flatter and deceive. So David was quick to let God know the things that he intends to do so as to keep a good relationship with God, and that was one way to God's heart, staying on his path, the right path. One of the main signs, which is the first sign that you're on the right path, is the fact that you are willing to walk in the way of integrity. As it says in Psalms 101 verse 2, you must be willing to walk in the way of God. A few days ago, I had something to do with someone. It's true that you cannot purchase integrity at a market. As he stated, integrity is a quality that one acquires and maintains via the application of godly character. It is impossible to compel integrity. God will never say, "My child, take integrity." Oh. So the very first way to know that you're on the right path is that you know within yourself that you're willing to walk in integrity. The second sign that God is saying that you're on the right path, you should feel at peace with your spirit. There are certain times that you just know that something is off. Your spirit is irritated, and you just don't want to do anything productive. You just want to be left alone, and you feel so disorganized. Yes, that is a major spiritual signal that you may be doing something wrong, and that the Spirit of God has given you signs to refrain from doing that. It also indicates that you are not at peace with your spirit. He has given you cues to refrain from these kinds of behaviors, ideas, and other things. The third indication is when you find evil deeds repulsive. When you encounter something that does not exalt God, you need to automatically disapprove of evil as a child of God walking on the right path. Now, this is another way to know that yes, your heart is in the right place with God. Psalms 101 verses 3, it says, "I refuse to gaze on that which is vulgar. I despise the works of evil people and anything that moves my heart away from you. I will not let evil hold me in its grip." Now David said, "Lord, I won't look at anything vulgar, anything that makes an explicit reference to sex or bodily functions, coarse and rude." He straight up despised evil, not because he was a man who was willing to walk in God's path, the right path. So another way to know that you're on the right path is when you begin to genuinely despise the works of evil. Another sign is when you do not want to do things that move your heart away from God. Thus, when you start to truly detest the actions of evil, that's another sign that you're headed in the right direction. Reluctance to engage in activities that cause you to become distant from God is another sign. When all you want to do is worship God, love Him, and do everything He says, you stop caring about yourself and start putting Him first. Yes, you want to please Him, but not for any personal gain. You, my dear buddy, are then in love with God. It shifts from Lord, please do this and that, to Lord, please tell me what I can do to help you. You want to obey all that God has commanded, not because it's convenient, but because you are devoted to Him. He continues on Psalms, saying, I refuse to gaze upon that which is vulgar. I hate the deeds of the wicked, and everything that makes me turn my back on you. I refuse to allow evil to possess me. Thus, examine the latter portion of this passage. It reads, I hate the works of evil people, and anything that makes me turn my back on you. This is now being offered up to God in its entirety. This is walking the correct path in God's eyes. The willingness to change your ways for God is the fifth sign. If you're willing to give up old habits and practices that don't make sense when it comes to God, that's another sign that you're walking the correct path. Every wicked and crooked way I have put away from my heart, because I will have nothing to do with the acts of darkness. According to Psalms 101, the things that God detests and wants you to avoid in order to improve yourself are the habits that a child of His should not have: gluten, lies, cheating, stealing, backbiting, and idolizing things. Fun fact: as Christians, there is nothing we can do to enhance, elevate, or add to God. He is an all-powerful God. Therefore, whatever He commands us to do, it is for our own benefit. At this point, God exists alone, and neither I nor you can do anything to change or enhance Him. This highlights the extent of God's love for us, and His deliberate efforts to help us develop into better versions of ourselves. And it is this that raises us to His level. The sixth sign is that you love people the way God loves them, and that you have compassion for souls. Psalms 101:5 says, I will not tolerate the proud and arrogant, and I will silence those who secretly wish to slander my friends. In my previous point, I explained how God is such a lover and a people person that everything He does is done so with such intentionality and only for the good of us, His creations. This is now another method of knowing that you are on God's correct path. Thus, you are compassionate and kind to everyone you meet, when you truly want to see people grow, and when you are a true friend who watches out for those around you. In order to maintain your aura's purity and alignment with God, you are aware of the people you associate with. This is not meant to refute the previous point. Rather, it is meant to highlight it. You don't have to allow people to taint your relationship with God because you love them. Your compassion for souls does not imply that you should allow those who continue to exhibit traits and viewpoints that are contrary to God's will to affect you. Thus, learn to shield your energy and love people even when you are far away. Make sure you have complete control over your thoughts and are resistant to influence before you let them in. And then it's up to you to mentor and influence them in the right directions according to God. Now, King David declared in Psalms that the only people he will allow to minister to him are those in his inner circle, those whom he knows to be pure and godly. Therefore, you will only allow those with deep religious roots to have an influence on you. The people who are pure and godly, those who are in your innermost circle. The final signs is that you don't support sin among your friends and circle. Hypocrites have no place in my house, because I detest persistent liars who lie and flatter. Because bad communication taints good manners, The people you let into your inner circle should be holy and pure. Now, this is both a means of confirming that you are following God's path and a means of staying on it. We all know that bad communication taints good manners, so the people you let into your inner circle should be holy and pure. Additionally, there are two ways to be sure you're following God's path correctly. By doing this, you can stay on it. I sincerely hope that these points have been useful, and if you liked the video, please click the like button. If you've made it this far through the video and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Remember to turn on your notification button so you can be alerted as soon as we post new videos. You can also comment below with the topics you would like us to cover and your opinions on the subject at hand. May God reward you